So here I have another equation to solve, 6.6 Prac C number 18, and I need to check this one for extraneous solutions. But first let's solve the equation. So again, I have a radical here. Now you might not see it as a radical, but this right there, a fractional exponent, the numerator is my power, the denominator is my root. So I'm going to do what I can to isolate my radical on one side of the equation. Now I'm going to start by adding 5 to both sides. I mean, I could have divided by 2, but if I add 5, then I'm going to have fewer fractions. So now I have 2, 5x squared plus 10 to the 2/3 power is equal to 50. Now I think I will divide by 2. Again, just trying to isolate my radical on one side of the equation. So I'm going to divide by 2, and I get 5x squared plus 10 to the 2/3 power is equal to 25. Well, now I've isolated my radical on the left side of the equation, and I think I'm going to get rid of it by bringing it to the first power. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this side to the 3/2 power, and I'm going to take my 25 to the 3/2 power. Sorry, those look so ugly. I'm going to try writing that again. No, it's not going to let me. To the 3/2 power. So now I have on my left side of the equation, I have 5x squared plus 10 to the 1 power, so just 5x squared plus 10, and on the other side I have 25 to the 3/2 power. Well, again, remember, numerator is the power, denominator is the root. So this is the exact same thing as saying the square root of 25 to the 3rd power. Well, that is 5 to the 3rd, which is equal to 125. So I have 5x squared plus 10 is equal to 125. I think this now becomes a fairly simple algebra problem. I will subtract 10 from both sides, and I have 5x squared is equal to 115. I think I will divide by 5. I get x squared is equal to, oh, I don't know, what's that? I'm going to use my calculator, which you can't see. 23. So that's telling me I'll take the square root of both sides, but I have to do plus or minus, so I have x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 23. Well, I was instructed to check for extraneous solutions. So let's go to the back to the original problem. So what I've done is I have substituted the square root of 23 in for my x. And so I had 2 times 5x squared plus 10 to the 2/3 minus 5 is equal to 45. So I'm squaring the square root of 23. So I have 2 times 5 times 23, because the square root of 23 squared is 23, plus 10 to the 2/3 minus 5 equals 45. And I can tell that if this solution works, my negative square root of 23 is also going to work because I have squared it. And if I've squared it, It doesn't matter whether it's a positive square root of 23 or a negative square root of 23, it's still going to be 23. So I have 2 times, this is 115, plus 10 to the 2/3 power minus 5 equals 45. 2 times 125 to the 2/3 power minus 5 equals 45. Well, I'm looking at 125 to the 2/3 power. I know the cube root of 125 is 5. And if I square that, it becomes 25. So I have 2 times 25 minus 5 equals 45. And so I have 50 minus 5 equals 45. So indeed, the answer works out correctly.